Good evening. Here's our latest news from Seoul, South Korea. Will social bubble strategy work for South Korea? Government malls revising social distancing rules to restrict people's behavior rather than businesses. South Korean health authorities are expected to announce a revised roadmap for social distancing that will give more freedom to businesses while restricting people's behavior more strictly to combat COVID 19. So far, Korea has restricted opening of businesses and public places without necessarily limiting movement of people or other individual behaviors, said Health Ministry spokesperson Son Young-rae during a news briefing last week. From now on, closures and other curbs of businesses will be minimized, and instead of activities such as travel, gatherings, and outings will be subject to tougher controls. According to the ministry, recent infection cases have largely been driven by infection interactions among friends or family. About 36% of all recently confirmed patients caught COVID 19 from someone they know, while as many as 23% could not be contact traced, meaning they weren't connected to known outbreaks. Son said the latest trends indicates that the virus is spreading mainly through person-to-person events, which is why the ban on private gatherings of 5 people or more has been practically effective in beating back the December surge in infection. Son hinted that the government plans to introduce a more tightened gathering ban, mimicking New Zealand's model of social bubbles, under which only an exclusive group up to 10 people are allowed to meet each other. The social bubble approach has been credited with helping New Zealand successfully control the spread of infections, with still only 26 deaths as of Sunday. Each person's realm of social interactions will be limited to people whom they live with or must maintain regular contact with, Son said. If you can telecommute, your bubble would include your co-workers, for instance. He said the bubbles would be used under stricter tiers of social distancing. You you not have to socially distance from people included in the bubble, but should avoid mingling with anyone outside the bubble. The imminent update is intended to reduce damage to the economy from the pandemic measures. Social distancing burden has to be shared by the whole of society rather than certain sectors, he said. He recognized that the way social distancing was worked in Korea over the last year has caused most businesses to suffer without fair compensation. Although there will be more pressure on people to refrain from socializing, how much of the rules will be mandatory remains to be decided. The first draft of social distancing scheme is expected to be finalized sometime next week. As the case rates are once again on the rise, its introduction could be postponed, he said. Son added that Korea had room to sustain a greater number of patients at a time than indicated by the present system. Currently, the strictest style of social distancing is implemented when there are 800 to 1,000 cases a day. Our healthcare system capacity has been expanded to be able to stand about 1,000 patients being diagnosed per day for about 3 weeks, he said. In light of our improved response, social distancing rules can be applied more sparingly for the remainder of the pandemic. As vaccinations will soon begin, I think we can expect to ease off on social distancing even further in May or June. That's our latest news from Seoul, South Korea, and this is Yoon Hye-kyung reporting. Have a good evening.